And now it's time to look at a bigger perspective of this attack and the state's preparedness. And to do that, I'm joined now by Sue Mincer. Sue is the president of the Manor Ridge Group, and she's also Tom Ridge's former executive director of the Department of Homeland Security Office of Domestic Preparedness. Sue, thank you so much for joining us on such short notice. First of all, can you give us your professional analysis of this situation?
Well, I don't know any more than what you've been reporting, obviously, but it certainly seems like a group or individuals who want to make a statement. You know, the problem today is we don't know what statement they want to make, and so it's difficult for law enforcement to counter this kind of thing when, particularly if it's only one or two individuals who are perpetrating it. There's no way to penetrate the cell unless one of them gives the other one up. So it's a very difficult thing for law enforcement.
Now, Sue, as I was mentioning earlier, this happened at a major sporting event. There was already a heightened level of security at the Boston Marathon with a very large police presence. So how can something like this kind of slip through the cracks, in your opinion?
Well, I don't think it's slipped through the cracks necessarily. I think they've done an excellent job of trying to prevent this kind of thing from happening all over the country for every special event. But when you have a large open venue like that, you can't have everyone going through metal detectors. That's not possible. You can remove a lot of trash cans. You can have a big security presence, both uniformed and ununiformed, so that, you know, people feel protected and there is security, but you just can't prevent everything. That's difficult to do. It's like Israel, in their shopping malls, they have people go through metal detectors in closed shopping malls. You can't do that in an open market, and that's indeed where a lot of the terrorist acts occur. So you can't prevent everything. You can only look to prevent the most logical thing from happening.
Now, Sue, you have quite an extensive resume. You are a 25-year veteran of the FBI, and as I mentioned, 20-year veteran of the FBI. And as I mentioned, you served under the former Secretary of Homeland Security, Tom Ridge, and you spent years helping state and local jurisdictions prepare for, prevent, and respond to tragedies such as this. So in your opinion, does this amount to a terror attack? And I want to be careful using that word because that often brings up connotations of other meanings.
Yes. Well, clearly, I think if it's determined that this act was for a political or social objective, then yes, it was a terrorist act. And it seems on the surface from what we know right now that it certainly seems like it's pointing towards terrorism. I don't know of any kind of natural occurrence like an exploding sewer cap. They've ruled that out. You know, those kinds of things, it probably wasn't. So I think we're looking at some kind of a statement here. And indeed, terrorism is designed to instill fear into people and to try to change people's minds, although to me that seems very counterintuitive. I don't think anyone's mind is going to be changed about whatever this group or individual is trying to profess. I don't think they're going to win too many hearts with this method.
Sure. Now, Sue, as I mentioned, you've been helping, you helped for quite a long amount of time. People plan and prepare for this. Give us some insight of what is going on right now. What are they doing to assess the situation and to move forward?
Well, I'm sure they're interviewing everyone they possibly can find who was there before the bombing occurred. I'm sure they're looking at all surveillance cameras in the areas, any building cameras that may be there for banks or hotels or any other kind of building that may have had a security camera. I'm sure all of those tapes are being assessed and processed. I'm sure they've got a hotline, I'm sure, established to get tips that people may have, people who may have seen something, people who may have gone home and looked at their film footage or their camera footage and found something suspicious in there. So I think it's a compilation now of all the facts that they can possibly garner to try to piece this together. Because particularly in a bombing situation, it is a jigsaw puzzle and you have to reconstruct it and find out what it looked like prior to that detonation.
Sue Mincer, we really appreciate you coming on. Sue is a consultant with the Manor Ridge Group. We appreciate your analysis.
Sure, my pleasure. Thank you.